Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 174 for Wednesday, July 8th, 2009. And the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is Tokyo, or if you were to pronounce it correctly, Tokyo! I don't know, it has an exclamation point, that's just my lame attempt at humor. Tokyo consists of 3 short films that are directed by Michel Gondry, Leos Carax, or maybe Cara, and Jun Ho Bong. Jun Ho Bong also directed The Host, and Michel Gondry you guys would probably know from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Science of Sleep, Be Kind, Rewind, those sorts of things. Tokyo, I guess I'll go into what the 3 short films are about. Interior design is basically about this girl who's going out with this man who's an aspiring filmmaker. He's not doing too well. He's attempting to invigorate film and try to make it more involving. He uses a technique by pouring smoke into the auditorium that he's filming it in. She's very unhappy. He kind of takes his job more seriously than his girl, and something weird starts to happen halfway through the film, which I'm not going to give away. The second film, Merde, which I believe means shit in French or Italian, one of the two, is about a man that they call the creature from the sewers, I believe, and he kind of crawls on land. He doesn't speak English. He does this weird, like, sort of language. I don't know. And he basically is put on trial because he murdered tons of people in Tokyo by throwing grenades all over the place. Also a very strange short film. The third and final film is called Shaking Tokyo, and it's about a man who, for the life of me, I cannot remember what the name is, nor could I probably pronounce it, but whatever the name is of this type of person, he basically is a hermit, and he just lives in his apartment. He doesn't go outside. He orders delivery food. He doesn't look the delivery person in the eye. He just stacks everything. His house is very neat and organized. There's tons of things everywhere, but all of that goes wrong when, after 10 years of isolation, he looks this delivery girl in the eye, and some stuff starts to happen. Tokyo, I mean, I've seen a lot of films that are similar to this, I guess in style. I've seen Three Extremes, which is basically 3 short horror films that were shot by 3 of Asia's top directors. I've seen Paris Je T'aime, which I like quite a bit, which I believe is 16 short films, all about love and all set in Paris. I believe there is also a New York I Love You coming out soon, which I'm very excited for, but these types of films usually work somewhat, but they don't totally work, for me at least, because most of the time there's at least one film that just doesn't quite hit the mark. But then again, there are some films in there that are amazing, so it's hard to not recommend some of these films, and I would recommend Tokyo if anybody out there is interested, especially for Michel Gondry's section, interior design. It's the first one in the series of 3, and I really feel that it's the best. It's very strange. It takes this weird turn, which I'm not going to spoil, but it takes this weird, like, crazy, almost like, why is this happening sort of a move. And I think that it's very symbolic. All these films are very symbolic and very metaphorical, and I have my own ideas as to what they all mean, and I really have an idea as to what he's trying to say with interior design. And I think it's kind of a cool little statement, just kind of shown in a on display as opposed to an actual thought. If anybody's, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about because nobody's seen the movie and I don't want to spoil it, but his section is really cool, and I especially like the last probably 5 minutes of his little short film, which is basically consists of voiceover done by the girlfriend, and she's writing a letter, I believe, to her boyfriend. And it's really well done stuff, and I felt very connected to her character. The second film, Merde, I probably like the least out of the 3. I think that it starts off on an okay note. It's kind of curious, and you're kind of wondering what's going on. There's a section in there when he's killing everybody in Tokyo, and he just is throwing grenades, and it's just really cool. It's really well shot, I think. But the ending and like the last 10 minutes of this film feel very weird. There's a lot of scenes that go on for a really long time with him doing his crazy dialogue. And I think the last probably 10 seconds of this film, I was like, okay, that's just weird that it just ends on that note. The third and final film, Shaking Tokyo, I think is definitely the second best, and I think it's a pretty good film. I think I was more interested in the aspect of him living alone in his apartment for 10 years with no outside contact than I was in the reveal as what's going on in the second half of the short film. But I still enjoy myself quite a bit. I think the last shot of the film is very poetic, if I could say that, and the line of dialogue, I think, just hits this note. I don't even know what it is because it's strange and it doesn't really make sense, but it hits this note, which basically a girl just says, "It's shaking." And it, like, just in my brain, it triggered something, and I just definitely liked that one as well. All in all, though, I would probably give Tokyo a 3.5 out of 5, a very strong 3.5 out of 5. I think that if you've been curious about this film at all, it's definitely worth checking out. It's all in subtitles, so if you're not a fan of subtitles, don't check it out. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with episode 175.